Hey guys, I don't know who's watching. If you can see me, text me. But we're gonna go ahead and start. Whoa. If you're on your computer to your right, there should be, holy moly. It's everybody responding that they're coming tonight. I hope you guys can see it on the event page. So hello. Um, if you guys can, if you are within the Hangout, um, it should have a Q&A box to your right if anyone's done this before. And that's where you can ask questions or let me know you're here or let me know if you have any problems, or you can send things to my cellular telephone. So, just in case you don't know the number, that just went out on the internet. Pause it if you need to. All right, so tonight I was going to do I was trying to figure out how I was going to do these calls. Oh, by the way, Christina Stainbrick here, director for the Fresh Sense of Smell Air for anyone on YouTube. If you're creepy, have fun. This won't be that interesting for you. But if you're a Scentsy person, I hope you love it. And I hope that several of you can see me, hear me, things like that. So if there's problems with the audio, video, etc., let me know. Alrighty, so I was having trouble deciding what I was going to do for these calls every month. I was like, okay, do I do news? Thanks, Stephanie sees me. You guys see that? Was I going to do news? Was I going to do business tips, as far as really generic? I don't know. So I was really struggling. And I decided we're just going to jump right into it. I could give you guys all kinds of cool tips about how to market your business in January and things like that, but we have an amazing training center, and there are already about 1,000 videos on there about that kind of thing. So if you want to talk about that, we can talk about it. But otherwise, I kind of want to get jumped into getting your business organized in 2015, getting yourself on a system, working your business like a business if you want it to pay you like a business, working your business like a hobby if you want it to pay you like a hobby. So we're going to kind of talk about if you're wanting to work your business as a business, if you really want the life change happening, if you need the money, if you really, really want to see how big you can get your Scentsy machine. My cat is meowing at this window right here. He can hear me. I am sorry to anyone who's watching this as a recording. I'll be right back. I have to let my cat inside. I got him. Look how fat he is. Okay. He's healthy. He's good. He's not cold anymore. All right. Sorry about that, everyone. Such is how I run my business. Whatever. I'm in my jammies too. It's cool. So we're talking about organization, getting your business going at full speed, and making 2015 your best friend. And I wanted to start off with an excerpt from a it's not really a summary of Take the Stairs, but it's called boop 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 boop. It's called The Secret to Self-Discipline by Rory Vaden. It's gonna be really exciting. I'm gonna read it to you like Story Corner here. I would have summarize this for you and put it in my own words, but I really, really like the way it's done here. So I'm going to read it to you. Sorry, my cat's really fat. Okay. Crap. I'm sorry. I'm an ice cruncher. Annoying. I'm glad I don't have a microphone. Not like one that's by my face. It'd be really gross. Mouth noises. Okay, I'm going to read you guys an excerpt from Rory Vaden's little short story. It's not a short story because it's not a story, but it's like a little essay called The Secret to Self-Discipline. And this is kind of like your preview of Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden, because it covers some of the same stuff except on a bigger level. And we have started that book today as part of our book club. So if anyone has responded yes to the book club in our Facebook group, we are reading Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden for this month. And I will be posting probably tomorrow. I'm like a day behind, kind of like what we're doing in our book club. So it's going to be a little more information so you know how to follow along correctly. And you're like kind of with everybody else. And you're not feeling like, maybe I'm just reading this and no one is. I don't know. So we'll kind of do some like chatting in the event and things like that. We're probably not going to do like a call or anything like that to talk about the book. It'll all be within the Facebook event. So, but I'll post more information on that later. But anyway, as a group, anyone who wants to, we're reading Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden starting today. So this is kind of a lead-in to what I'm talking about today, and it's by Rory Vaden. So huzzah! This is called Sacrifice, the Paradox Principle. And it is, the subline is, do the difficult things now, and things will be easier in the long term. To begin to develop the habit of self-discipline, we would all be wise to adopt a buffalo mentality. Let me explain. I grew up in central Colorado with the Rocky Mountains in the west and the Great Kansas Plains in the east. We are one of the only places in the world that has both buffalo and cows. One of my favorite places that I look to for principles of success and the way that the world works is in nature. And the way that these two creatures, buffalo and cows, respond in nature has some really powerful lessons for us. When a storm approaches from the west, as storms most always do, out there, cows respond in a very predictable way. They know that the storm is coming from the west, so they head east to try to outrun the storm. It's simply about doing, oh, that's like the big, hold on, just kidding. Just a second. The only problem is that, as you may know, cows are not very fast. Before long, the storm catches up to them, and the cows, not knowing any better, keep on running. Instead of outrunning the storm, they actually run with the storm, maximizing their exposure to it. Isn't that stupid? Many of us humans do the same thing every day. We try to avoid conflict, even though it's inevitable. So often we try to ignore problems, pretending that they aren't that big of a deal. And then when we try to run away at the last minute, they're already fast approaching. Unfortunately, as most of us have learned the hard way, problems tend to compound when we ignore them. And we end up being exposed to something longer or worse than what might have been. What buffalo do, on the other hand, is truly unique. They wait for the storm to cross right over the crest of the peak of the mountaintop, and as it arrives, they turn and they charge directly into the storm. By running at the storm, they run straight through it as the storm passes overhead, which minimizes the amount of pain they experience. If only more of us would tackle life's inevitable, unavoidable problems the way the buffalo do head on, the key insight that ultra performers in business have is that the problems that are procrastinated on are only amplified, and we're the ones who pay the price. There's a great deal of strength and strategic payoff in charging at our most challenging circumstances head on. And then I'm going to be reading one more. And this is called Commitment, the buy-in principle. The more we have invested into something, the less likely we are to let it fall. A man named Bob is in a restroom, standing in front of a urinal, and he is suddenly in a bit of a predicament. Somehow, he's managed to drop a $5 bill into the urinal. Just as Bob is looking down, thinking about what he's going to do, another gentleman named Dave happens to walk into the restroom. Dave sees the $5 in the urinal, assesses the situation with an empathetic sigh, and then says, "Oh, that's a tough decision. What are you going to do?" Bob thinks about it for a moment, looks at the urinal, and looks back at Dave. A split second later, Bob pulls out of his wallet, and out of nowhere, pulls out his wallet and out of nowhere grabs a $50 bill and throws it into the urinal. In shock, Dave exclaims, "Man, what are you doing? I can't believe you just did that. That's $50. Bob looks back at Dave, cracks a smile, and replies, "Well, come on. You don't think that I would stick my hand in there for just $5, would you?" This is an old story, but it illustrates something that's critical in your ability to be more self-disciplined. I call it the buy-in principle of commitment, and it simply states that the more we have invested in something, the less likely we are to let it fail. Think about something that you're trying to achieve. How committed are you to it? How invested are you in achieving that goal? What's the cost of failing at that goal? By investing more time, more energy, and more money and focus into your commitments when things get tough, you will ask yourself, how can I pull this off? Rather than relenting to the question, should I try to pull this off? Increasing your investment into your dream increases the likelihood of your success. So where should you be throwing your $50 bill? There's a ton more where that came from. If anyone wants me to send you that essay, I can. Let me know. It's one of my favorite things ever, but really, that is just a little tiny preview of how impactful Take the Stairs is. It seriously is the one book that I have ever read that has changed my entire business. Okay? So it's really important. I would love for you guys to join us. We're reading that right now. Go buy the book. You got time to catch up. We just started today. It's like today is like the best day to go buy the book. So go buy the book. So what I want to talk to you guys about is sacrifice and commitment and buying into your business and things like that. So that has a lot to do with staying organized, using your time wisely, and things like that. But what I wanted to tell you a little bit about was my day-to-day business system. And I'm not perfect. This just doesn't happen every day because some of you have seen me every day of my life and you're like, I don't think I ever saw you do that. But on a very good day and very good months, and when my business is very much thriving, and when I'm in my best form, this is absolutely what changed my business this past year. I credit a lot of my personal growth in my business, my customer satisfaction, my repeat hostesses, and things like that to the system that I have in place for my business. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it. I don't know what the official name for this is. I modeled it after a training video that I saw in our workstation. And several of you have heard my spiel on this before, and maybe you're excited to hear me talk about it again because you didn't do it the first time, and you're like, that might have made a big difference, because I think the last time I talked about scalable systems was about a year ago. So if you didn't do it then, you're going to do it now. Scalable systems is really cool. And you don't even have to think of your own, because I have all of the worksheets. I have all of the documents. I have all the PDFs, everything ready for you to download. If you're on YouTube, it's going to be in the comments or the caption. If you're in my team, it's going to be in the group for you. I'm going to just post it in this event so you guys can download it. I'll go ahead and post the Rory Vaden essay as well so you can read the rest and change your life. So I'm going to post the link to my scalable system documents, but they are mine, and there's no one way to do this. So you're going to want to edit it to fit your business, and then keep editing it until it works for you, because what works for one person may not work for another person. So switch things around whenever you want. So what I do, I'm going to explain scalable systems to you a little bit here. I have things like this in my office. These are my binders. These are my scalable system daily binders. And they're upside down. Do you see those guys? These are my binders. They're right next to my desk. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And on Mondays, it's customer day. On Tuesdays, it's team day. On Wednesdays, it is my out of the office, drive my car everywhere day. Thursday is my hostess and recruits day. Friday is my business day. What does this kind of mean? What this is my power hour commitment to my business. So if I only have 1 hour that day to do something with my business, it has to be this. Any extra time that I have devoted to my business that day, which usually I can squeeze in like a lot of time because it's my full-time job. So that's the difference between working it as a hobby versus working it as a business. Hobby level, squeeze in 30 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, whatever you can. Scalable systems. Your tasks for the day should not take you very long. But if you have them on a schedule and all of your tasks on a schedule, then you won't fall behind, if that makes sense. So like I'll show you what I have on Mondays. This is my power hour. So on Mondays, every single week, I have Motivational Monday in our team page. I need to post that. I have a reminder on my phone. I don't know why I keep forgetting to do it though, so I apologize. But if you guys beat me to it, that's absolutely fine. Follow up on my messages, emails, and text messages. You guys know how bad I am about that. I have to put it on my to-do list or else I'll forget. So, and then on Mondays, the director call is at 12 p.m. So I would mark these off as I did them throughout the week or throughout the month. So that's 4 times. If there's a 5th week, then just draw it in. My monthly business tasks. So say you were looking at a calendar like this. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So I have my week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And then week 5, there was, it's week 5. So I could actually take the week off if I felt like it. But you guys know I don't take any time off. It's just my MO. That's just the way I like to do it though. So week 1, on Monday of week 1, my tasks are to prepare birthday postcards for my customers, prepare thank you postcards for my customers, which I haven't started my birthday card thing. I apologize if anyone's watching that. I haven't done that yet. That was me hoping I would get that put into play this year. That'll be my 2015 thing. So I just send postcards to my customers for their birthdays, prepare thank you postcards for my customers, which I do, prepare samples and send of the month postcards for mailing, and email a customer newsletter. So that's my Monday week 1 tasks. That should take about an hour. And then my week 2 tasks are make next month's postcard, which I don't do postcards anymore, so this is not updated. My cover sheet is not updated. But whatever typically I'd want to get done at the beginning of the 2nd week of every month. So if you look at the typical dates of the 2nd week of every month, you're kind of in the middle of before the 10th and a little bit of the after the 10th. So, which is cool because there's a payday in there. So you can kind of think of this week as things that you need to do for your payday. Like this one is make next month's postcard, and then the next month is when I order all my supply, or the next week is when I order all my supplies because I know it's after payday. Does that make sense? So make next month's postcard. I don't do that anymore. What that would basically be I don't know. I just don't do anything right there anymore. And then, but week 2 is also call my previous month customers or text them and see if they loved their purchase. That's after they've already gotten their thank you notes because they got those last week. File away all of my order forms that are no longer in use for the week. So if I've already given the person their order and I've already followed up, file them away. That's another day. I'll show you my customer filing system. And then I might show that to you anyway if we have time. We'll see. Week 3, order my postcards and business tools for the next month. Since I don't do postcards, what I do now, you guys have seen my little video of what I mail now. So I would order all my supplies for that 3rd week because this is customer day. So it's something I send to my customers. I'm going to order my supplies for it that week. So order all of my sample club business tools that day. Make my samples of next month's scents, since I should have them in already by the end of the 3rd week. Typically, I should have my warmer scent of the month kit by then. If not, I would just draw an arrow and push it down to the next week. So make my samples of next month's scent and make any other samples that I need. So say I made my monthly samples and now I'm just going to make some pass out to everybody samples. Or say I wanted to make room spray samples or lotion samples. This would be my sample making day for all of that. Week 4 on Monday, which is customer day. Week 4, organize and update my customer list in Excel. Because I do keep them all in Excel because that's how I print. I can do mail merge from that and print all of my labels for my sample club really quick from mail merge. So I do put all my customers in Excel. And basically what I do is I go to my workstation because I keep all of my customer orders intact. So I don't combine orders ever, because at the end of the month, this makes it really easy, because I go to contacts and I run a report to see who's all ordered this month, and my list is right there. And then I can make the columns show their address, their phone number, their email, and the date they last purchased. I copy and paste all that and put it into my Excel spreadsheet and update all of that really quick. So it's really important to keep that intact, especially, I mean, for me, it's really important. So you run your business how you want. For me, it's easier. So I update my Excel sheet, because that's what I send mailings out with. It's got their birth date in it. It's got their last purchase date, so I can do that really fast with their address and everything there. Anyway, mail merge, awesomeness. So week 4, yeah. And then I also stuff all the envelopes, but I hired that out. So basically week 4 is when I would give my cousin all of my stuff to send my customers for my Scent of the Month Club. And then week 4 is also when the official Scentsy newsletters are posted on your workstation under communication, and you can edit that newsletter to say whatever you want in the main paragraph. So week 4, I also remind myself to edit my newsletter to my customers that's sent by Scentsy. Down here, it says other to do but notes, but I don't use that. I'll show you what I use. Basically, this is in conjunction with my planner. So like this is what, so this is my Erin Condren planner for last year. If you look, this is what this is what I have the regular month look like. So this is an entire month. I've highlighted the days that I want to party. I've made it really obvious to my customers that I don't work on Sundays, because it's my family day. Wednesdays are my off days, because they're my delivery days. They're the days I go to the post office. It's the days I meet up for basket parties. It's the day I close parties. Wednesdays. It's the day I leave the house and do a bunch of crazy stuff. And then, but I have all my party dates that I would like to book parties in highlighted, so that when I take this to a party, I lay it down and I say, pick one. So it's already done, and I usually try to do several months. So this is not important to this. This is just showing you why I don't use this to take notes on. This is literally just what I show customers. But for the week, like this, the week, I have it at the top that Mondays are my customer days. And then I have my miscellaneous to-do list. So say I had a customer text me on Friday because she needed a bulb and she lives in Texas. And then I had somebody text me because they wanted to place an order for bars. I place my orders on Mondays. Occasionally I'll place orders on other days if needed, but I try to categorize all of my interactions so I don't burn out. So it's like, okay, you're a customer. That means that we'll place your orders on Mondays. If Monday's not good for you, I have a website. Here's the address. Feel free to shop it. So I try to make sure I have everything kind of organized, especially when your business gets huge. You just don't want to drown. So I have get a bulb to Barb, or ask Donna for payment for her Scentsy bars so I can place the order. Make sure to place Jane's party order and sort Sue's party. So say hers came in on Thursday, I'm sorting it Monday. You're supposed to get them out a little sooner than that. So a lot of times I will make party deliveries not on Wednesdays, or what I will do is I'll text Sue and say, is it okay if I bring your party on Wednesday to you? Or it's ready now if you want to pick it up. Customers don't mind, okay? They really don't mind picking it up, especially if you gave them a date in which you would bring it to them. They just want it sooner, they'll come Monday. So I do a lot of, people come to my house. I always tell people my front door is a revolving door, because people are in and out of it all day long. I have tons of pickups. People like to come and see what I've got, or they just want to talk or hang out, things like that. So I don't mind people coming over whenever they want. And I also tell people that my porch is like the post office. There's always stuff on my porch for people to pick up. So it's always just whatever makes your business easier to run. Wednesdays are my errand day. So Mondays, this is basically my individual to-do list for actual March 31st. Does that make sense? So anything that's not just generic goes in my calendar on the daily task. So that's how I do it. You can do it any way you want. That's just the way it works for me. So I basically, on Monday, I pull this out and I've got it all here. And then anything I didn't get done on Monday gets highlighted, and an arrow goes to Tuesday. So it just keeps doing that. So that's Monday. I'm not going to read through all the others for you. It kind of makes sense now. So Monday, customer day. Tuesday, team day. Wednesday is my driving day. Thursday, hostess and recruiting day. And then Friday is business day. So you can see things like on my Wednesday, it has everywhere I need to go that day. It says go to the post office and what I need to take with me when I go to the post office. I usually have like a bin or a box behind my desk of things I've thrown together that need to go, and they go out on Wednesdays. Unless I remember to walk to my front mailbox and just put them in the mailbox for the mail person. But if it's something I have to take to the post office, it goes out on Wednesday. So anything like that. So like team day, that's when I would have lunch with a team member if they wanted to have lunch. That's when I'd have coffee on team day. So I'd have my power hour stuff. But then if I'm planning coffee or lunch or something like that, that's my Tuesdays. Fill those up. And then it also has like Jen wanted to talk about her goals for the year or something. So that's team day. So we'd have phone calls, chats, things like that on team day. And then Thursday is my hostess and recruiting day. So this is where I would follow up with anyone who's new and make sure that they got my last message about watching a certain video or see if they've picked a date for their launch party yet, etc. It's also where I would be like, prepare recruiting packets. If I was making those, I really don't usually, but if somebody literally wanted the hand info, that's what I would do. So that's when I would put that all together. And then say, this is also when I would follow up with anyone who was thinking about the opportunity, would be my Thursdays. So does that make sense? I hope. And Fridays, business days, like this one says, print Amazon receipts and put a new mileage notebook in the car so that I can record my mileage. So that's business day. Does that make sense? Because those are things I would do for my business. Like business day is what I get asked about the most. So weekly tasks are to log my miles and file my receipts. And then Monday would be clean my office and organize for the month, the first one, and restock my car's mobile office. So make sure that in my car I have catalogs, order forms, samples, join packets, things like that that I would pass out on the go. So Monday, my business day, is my organization day. That's when I would print new sheets of this if I needed to. It's when I would print reports if I needed to. Like week 2 is order all business supplies needed for the month or the next month or whatever. Week 3 is look for events around town, check Craigslist, or post on Facebook about wanting to get fundraisers or events booked. Week 3 is also find one small business to put a Scentsy warmer in. Week 4 is make sure to scan and organize all my receipts for the month, print new binder covers, and organize my weekly binders, and then make next month's business budget and adjust all pending pay portal deposits accordingly. So I usually have my paycheck auto deposited, so make sure to, that's just me making sure to check and make sure I have it going to the right places. Does that make sense for everyone? I hope it does. I know that a lot of you are going to be like, I need more details. This is amazing. And some of you are going to be like, oh, and that's totally okay. It's totally fine. But I have all of these sheets. Like, this is what the sheets look like. I have them in a Dropbox. They're already made. And I have Word document, I have PDF, and I have Pages document. So if you have a Mac or a PC, whatever, it's there. You can edit it. I even put the fonts in there so that you can download the fonts and make it look cute like this. It's cute. One other thing too, I have trackers in these. Like, this is my catalog tracker. So if I've sent a catalog to somebody, I write their name, and then I have a thing next to it that says follow up. So I remember to follow up, and then the date I sent it. And then I have, this one doesn't have any more, but other things I have are like anytime I print postage. So if any of you have a home printer for postage, on business day, I have a postage tracker. So I know how much I've printed that month in business postage. And then I also have my mileage tracker in here. So every week I take my log and I bring it in here and I put that. And then that's where my business budget is as well. So I know how much I'm spending on what and how much I need to save for my paycheck next month to make sure that I have enough to run my business the following month. I know it sounds really, really involved, but if you're thinking of Scentsy as like a business in any possible way, you've got to find a way to get organized, because if you start this now, it's going to seem like you have nothing to do every day, which is fine, because as your business grows, you're just going to add a little bit to Monday, a little bit to Tuesday, a little bit to Friday. So when your team gets huge, you're going to be like, wow, I didn't really feel like I had that much different to do, because you had already had your systems in place. That's the reason they're called scalable, is because no matter how big your business goes and gets, these are going to grow and change and move with your business and keep it going. So these are all tasks that no matter how big your business gets are things you're going to do. Does that make sense? And then you have your weekly to-do list for anything extra. And that's when the nice thing about that planner is, say Jill calls you on Friday needing a bulb. When she texts you or calls you, you're going to go ahead and write that in on Monday, because that's your customer day. Does that make sense? So you're going to already have your to-do list going, but it's not going to be one huge to-do list inside, just not categorized in your face, overwhelming you. You're going to put your to-dos on the proper day, and then you're not even going to look at the rest of the week when it's Monday. Does that make sense? It helps you a lot not to get overwhelmed, because I get overwhelmed a lot. So when I found this was like my saving grace. So that is really almost all I had to talk to you guys about today. This is my Erin Condren planner from last year. I don't have my planner yet for this year because I'm really bad at stuff like that and ordering things on time. I probably should have put it in my scalable systems to order my planner, and I didn't. So I'm ordering it today, but I'm going to use the Passion planner this year instead of this one. Just because I feel like it's very Scentsy-ish. It's got all your goals and your dreams and your arrows and your webs, and it's awesome. So I'm going to order that this year, I think. I really can't decide. That's why I haven't really ordered it, guys. Let's be real. Okay, so honestly, that was 33 minutes. I had a little, let me see. What else did I say I was going to talk about? I think that was it. Like getting organized in your business, making sure you're saving your receipts. Anything you spend on your business, save it, period. Today, go write down the odometer reading on your car. End of story. Your miles are what are going to add up more than anything as far as write-offs go. If you're going to want to start running your business as a business, your write-offs are going to be increasingly important. I have a neat receipt scanner because I lose things. So I do have one, and that's what I scan mine into. And then I get asked a lot about what do I do with my Scentsy paycheck. What I do with my Scentsy paycheck is, this is going to sound crazy, but if you do it when you're small, it's not going to sound as big when you get bigger. 50% of my paycheck every month is not for me. Does that make sense? So 50% of it goes into my personal checking account for my family, because this is my full-time job. It is my household income. We pay our bills and everything with this. So 50% of it goes into our personal bank account. 25% of it goes into an account for saving for taxes every year. The other 25% is my business budget. Does that make sense? If that is over 500, I move the excess to Scentsy vacation savings. So anything over 500 in that 25% for my business budget is what I help pay for reunion with, spring sprint with, anytime I'm going somewhere with Scentsy. That's that budget. Is anything over 500 that's deposited into my business budget is going to Scentsy. Sometimes I try to cut it down to anything over 400 because I try to stay within about $400 running my business a month, which if you think about it, I can support my family spending only $400 on an actual small business a month. That's dumb. Go down to your local boutique and ask them if they only spend $400 a month to keep their doors open. They're going to say no, I promise. So, and profit is obviously more than that because there's 75% of other income that's not going into my Scentsy business. So when you're first starting out, those percentages might be too low as far as what's going back into your Scentsy business. It just depends on what you want out of your business. If you want to stay home with your kids and you want to replace your full-time income, but you currently have a job, I would suggest putting 100% of your Scentsy paycheck back into Scentsy. I know that sounds insane, but that's what I did. I had a full-time job when I started Scentsy, and 100% of my Scentsy income went back into my Scentsy business to grow it faster. That's the buy-in principle. Just like I was talking about earlier with the Rory Vaden thing, the buy-in principle. The more you put into something, the less likely you are to let it fail. And that's the big problem with a lot of people who cancel out of Scentsy is they spent the money on their starter kit and didn't do anything else. They didn't invest anything else into their business, especially if they cancel out soon after joining. Either they didn't really have enough direction or what, but most of the time it's because they didn't really invest either their time into their business well enough, because time is a huge sacrifice, and it's not necessarily monetary when it comes into the buy-in. It's also time. Like, I know when I started Scentsy and realized what Scentsy could do for my family, I was working 70 hours a week at work. I had a 1-year-old baby, and I never saw him because I was working so much at my full-time job. And so I would come home, I'd have to bathe him and put him to bed right away when I came home. That's just the way my life was. And then the second he went to bed, I worked my business until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Sacrifice, buy-in, things like that. You're less likely to let something fall apart if you've put really, really precious time into it, precious money, etc. So it just depends on what you want out of your business. If you treat your business like a hobby, you will never get paid like a business. So if you're just putting in $150 once every 3 months, I hope you realize that your paycheck is less than what your hostesses are getting as rewards. So it's not beneficial to you to just keep buying your account at $150 every month. You do or you don't. So most of our hobby level people who are genuinely hobby level, they put something in every month, just a little bit. Because they're constantly working their businesses because they have loyal customers, and they also know that they don't want to lose their customers when they need them the most. So if they can't work their businesses for a little while because they are hobby consultants, and they're not interested in making this huge, they need somebody to buy from them when their 3-month comes up. So treat your customers amazing, even if you're a hobby consultant, and try to just do a little bit every month. All these girls do a little bit every month, even though they have, 2 full-time jobs. They don't really want to make Scentsy a big thing, but Scentsy is important enough to them, and they've bought into their business well enough to where it does make them a really nice little chunk of change every month. It pays their cell phone bill, or it pays for book fees, or just something that means a lot to them that they're working their business for. If you want to work it like a business, you have to treat it like a business, and the sacrifice might be a little bit bigger in the beginning, but one day you're just going to be sitting there and you're like, when did I not have to be so ham on everything? Like, it's going to just blow your mind the day that it gets to the point that you've been waiting for. And then you're like, all right, what's next? So really, if you want it to be huge, you've got to go huge right now. You have to go as big as you can, and you have to just go as hard as you can, and just go, 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 go. Scalable systems is going to help you do that without getting to that wall where you just feel like you just are done and you just can't do it anymore. Because when your to-do list is huge every single day and you don't feel like you're checking things off of it, it's overwhelming, and it just makes you want to be like, why am I doing this anyway? Get rid of this Scentsy thing. It drives me nuts. I don't want to do this, because you can't see the big picture. So separating your to-do list by day based on, the item of it, and making sure that you're like, okay, I did these items. Don't look at the rest. I did this. Go play with my kid. Does that make sense? Instead of being like, oh, I really should do this, or maybe I can push this off till tomorrow, or maybe I can do this next week. No, do this, be done, shut your books, turn off your computer, go put your phone somewhere else, and go play with your kid. That's what scalable systems did for me, is it made me be able to manage my time working from home and working in my spare time, but being able to juggle my family as well, because the second that that was done, then I closed it up and I could leave it, and I could go do whatever I wanted. If I wanted to keep working, I could, but I didn't feel guilty if I stopped there, because I know that I had everything that I needed to do that day done, and I didn't have to look at the rest of the week. I didn't have to look at anything else on my to-do list because it's categorized, and I don't have to worry about Friday. I don't have to worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be there when I open my book, and it gets done tomorrow, not today, and I don't worry about it today. And I hope that makes sense for everyone. So we're about 20 minutes till. Some of you have found the little Q&A box. Does anybody have any questions, or was that just a complete blob of crazy? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who is actually on this call right now. That's one thing I don't know. It says I have 11 people viewing. If all of you who are viewing right now can Facebook message me right now because you're viewing it. Can you do that real fast? Let's just give it 5 minutes because I have a prize to give away. Look at this prize. This, my friends, is a beautiful Scentsy thermal bag for basket parties. And let me show you what's inside. I have for you today the inside of a thermal basket party. And it's got pockets. If you've never seen this in real life, it's got mesh pockets. And just because I love you, I'm throwing in the category sacks as well for your little mini testers. They all fit in these. It's great. So we're going to stick this in here, and I'm going to mail this to a winner. But I need everyone who's watching right now to Facebook message me in the next 5 minutes. And Christina got the memo. Thank you, Christina. Within the next 5 minutes, message me that you're watching right now. And I will draw the winner, and I will post it on Facebook in the event page. So 5 minutes from now, message me by 12:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I want to thank you all for coming out. It's recorded. It'll be on YouTube. Watch it whenever you want. I'm going to post the links to my scalable system documents in the group. And I'm going to post the Roy Vaden essay in the group. I love you all. Have a great night.